This is my indie film review of Where There Is Love, There Is No Darkness, written and directed by Stevan Lee Mraovitch, and starring Oumar Diaw as Seydou, a Senegalese man living in Paris, and he works as a delivery rider a la Uber Eats and Deliveroo and those sort of companies. And he works as a delivery person, sending money back to his pregnant wife in Senegal, where he has had to leave in order to make enough money to support them. And yeah, not only does he have to work a very, very tiring job, often to thankless and disrespectful customers who moan about things, that are so first world problems. He also has to deal with the fact that he is a migrant living with no papers in France, often at the mercy of good for nothings, shall we say, and being constantly worried about whether he will be able to keep up his payments, keep his job, when his handler, if you will, someone who arranges his payment, goes missing. He then also finds himself in hot water. But luckily, he's able to rely on the strong friendships he has of some other riders that come from where he does, as well as an unlikely friendship that he makes with a man called Albert, who lives in France, whom Seydou offers to help just out of kindness. It's a very, very remarkable film. I really enjoyed this, and it had so much warmth and kindness within the plot to balance out those more negative aspects, and it does go into some really powerful topics such as modern slavery, migration, and things like that. It's so hard to do that. This could have been a really dark film, or it could have been a very, very light and fluffy film. It's not. It's both, and I think it's a great achievement of the filmmakers to be able to pull that off so well. We get to see lots of streets and urban landscapes as Seydou travels on his bike, and the actor is doing so well in that role. There's so many different aspects that he has to go through, emotions to depict, whether it's confronting, his handlers, whether it's on the phone to his wife or with his group of friends. The camaraderie between that group is absolutely infectious, and I love the way that we get to see them bond and enjoy their time. They're doing banter about the jobs that they've got to do, but also they go through the really real hardships, and having their accounts frozen, for example, and not being harassed by the police. And then we see them singing songs, these joyful songs from their homeland. It's just brilliantly done. There's so many moments in the film that stood out to me that were just well handled, well crafted. It's not too long. I think it's a great length of a film, and they managed to tell the right story in the right way. There's only a couple of moments that I sort of picked up that I would have maybe improved. One is they do this thing where they slow him down slightly and they speed up everyone around him, and I kind of get why that was done, but I don't think it was done in a particularly great way. It felt a bit jolting and jarring, and kind of removed me slightly from the experience. And some of the dialogue between in particularly the group of riders, is very talking about their situation, and it kind of goes on and on, and a lot of exposition there to sort of explain it. I kind of feel like we knew what was going on. That wasn't needed. But apart from that, I think my overall feeling of this film is incredibly positive. There is just so much to it that I really, really enjoyed. And I also think it's a really important film to tell right now, especially we're UK Film Review, audiences watching this in the first world will know they use these apps, they use these services that are often built upon very cheap labour, and from people that have migrated, and it tells a telling situation of how that's being provided and how culpable we are as consumers of people like that. And then also the fact that kindness and humanity are still around, even in this troubled world that we seem to constantly be beaten by. I think it's doing a lot of powerful things. There's a lot of moving moments in this film, and I, for one, will be championing it to people. As I said, it didn't have a huge budget. I mean, €200,000 may sound like a lot if you're an indie filmmaker, but it's certainly not a lot if you're making blockbusters. It's a fraction of that. So I think they've done really well with the budget here. They haven't overstretched it too much. There was only a couple of moments that I potentially would have improved. Most of it was done very, very professionally and well. And I loved the relationships that get explored here, whether it's Seydou helping Albert, find some level of freedom and independence again in his life because he's kind of cooped up in his room. Even the moments as well, actually, where Seydou's praying, they're really moving as well. The fact that he keeps his faith, even though he's going through such troubling times, and the sort of strength that this gives him. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, absolutely great. So the film's called Where There Is Love, There Is No Darkness. I believe it's done particularly well on festival runs, so could be that it's coming out imminently. Let me check my notes. Nothing on there. So there's an Instagram page where there is love, there is darkness. I will clearly tag it when I review that on Instagram. But yeah, go check it out now if you're watching this on, say, YouTube or TikTok. Yeah, brilliant. Really, really enjoyed it, and I feel very honoured to have seen that in the way that I did. So thank you.